Welcome to Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
And good morning, Keys. It is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. And good morning to you. Tuesday, the 14th of July already. Hard to believe, but it is indeed true. So we're going to say good morning to Emily Schemper. She is the Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. Good morning to you, Emily.
Good morning.
Hi there. So here we go. I click one last button and I wanted to welcome you on in. So we've got some updates. You and I have had conversations for quite some time, and we have some projects that are going to be coming before the board, whether it's ROGOs, height restrictions, et cetera. So can you bring us up to date on that?
Yes, I think I've probably talked about these a number of times in the past, but we're nearing the finish line on several big ticket items in the world of planning and zoning. So at tomorrow's BOCC meeting, which is in Marathon, there is a public hearing regarding the new ROGO allocations. And as a lot of people know, we've kind of come to the end of our previous set of building permit allocations that the state had awarded. The final application deadline for the remainder of those was Monday of this week, actually. So we're kind of going on a pause now for about a year, and the board is about to adopt and transmit to the state amendments that accept the new set of allocations that was given to us by the state last year when they changed the evacuation time limit from 24 hours to 24 and a half hours. So the final, go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, please continue. I was just wondering, is there then kind of a backlog of those awaiting those permits? Where are we on that?
So what the state approved last year was 657 new permit allocations for unincorporated Monroe County. It was a total of 900 for Keys-wide, but 657 for Monroe County. They also gave out a schedule, like a every 2-year schedule of how they should be distributed. And there was a large lump that was supposed to be given out in the first 2 years, but you can't just start giving them out. You have to amend your comp plan and your code to put the system in place. So there's a large portion that will be open for applications starting next summer. So the application period will start in July of 2027. And it sounds like a large number when you look at this new table, but it's not that much more than what we're already giving out. So there's a 10-year schedule. Every year is about 54 to 55 permits. We're currently giving out 62, or we were giving out 62 per year. So it's a little bit less per year. But the first year has a huge lump. The state wanted a third of those given out in the first 2-year period. So there will be 24 market rate, so regular market rate units available, but there will actually be 195 market rate workforce units. However, the other thing that was discussed with the governor's office and deemed acceptable with governor's office and commerce was that the board could take a portion of those workforce and reserve them for a later time period. So they will probably reserve a large portion of those. I don't see 219 permits going out in 1 year. But the normal schedule after that will be 12 market rate and 42 market rate workforce. And that, again, is a new category. It's sort of like affordable, but it doesn't have the income and rent restriction. It has a restriction that the occupants, whether owner or renter, have to earn 70% of their income working in Monroe County. So it's like a local workforce category, but it can be those, upper management jobs if needed. It can be the lower jobs if needed. It's still dependent on the market for rents and prices.
Okay. Emily Schemper, she is the Director of Growth Management for Monroe County. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. So what is it then that the Board of Commissioners have to decide upon when this comes before them?
Yes. So tomorrow they will be voting on whether or not to transmit this proposed ordinance with this new schedule of ROGO allocations and all the terms that go along with it transmit that to the state for the state of Florida's first round of review. If the state looks through it and finds no issues with it, then they send it back and say, okay, go ahead and adopt it. If they do find some issues, they give the opportunity to make some changes if needed, or the board can actually still go ahead and adopt it as they wish, and then there could be an appeal after they adopt it. But the state always reviews the comprehensive plan one time first, and they send it back. Then the board has a second hearing, which we think will be in October for the final adoption.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a few more months for it to become effective, but the application period for this new system will start next summer. So we are on a kind of important message. We're on a pause between now and next summer for ROGO applications.
Okay, so there is a pause there. Will there be any consideration given to those who had applied previously that were not granted ROGOs?
So we do have quite a few permits that are sitting on the waiting list for ROGO. They will remain on that waiting list for the market rate units that become available starting next summer. They will also be given the opportunity to switch over to that workforce line, that different queue. There are more allocations that will be available in that queue than the normal market rate. So we will send out instructions to everyone who is on the list once the board approves the system that staff is proposing, but they will automatically remain on the list, and they'll be given the opportunity to switch to the other list if they choose that as a better category for their permit.
Wow. It's pretty complicated, but we appreciate you helping us unpack this, and we'll be curious to hear what the outcome of the dais is when it goes before them as well. And other matters that'll be coming before the Board of County Commissioners. Did you mention the height restriction?
I did. We have quite a few public hearings tomorrow, but I think these are the most publicly noticed ones, the ROGO and then the height amendments, which they did discuss several months ago, again, at that first transmittal hearing. The amendment has been up to the state and it has come back, and now it is up for actual adoption tomorrow, and it would allow single family and multifamily residential structures to go up to 42 feet, and it will also allow things on the roof like mechanical equipment, AC equipment, elevator shafts, things that in the past have been problematic because they're still subject to the height limit. Those are now exempt from that height limit, and it will also allow up to 42-inch railing on top of the house above that 42-foot limit. The interesting thing about the railings, so a good thing to know, is that they will have to be stepped back from the edge of the roof. And that helps visually. I'm not going to say it's a safety issue, although in my own mind, it makes me less afraid of heights when I'm on a roof like that. But yes, for each foot that the railing is above the height limit, it has to be stepped back 1 foot. So you'll kind of see those rooftop decks would be pulled back on the highest buildings.
Okay. Well, again, another development that you're right has been in the news and the public has been following along with, and that is the height restriction. So that again goes before the dais upcoming. This is Keys Talk 96.9 1025, the talk of the Keys. And how about other projects? I know that a number of restoration projects, canals, etc., have been kind of starting off here as of late after kind of a long period of trying to prepare and get them funded, et cetera. So how are we on all of those?
Yes, I don't have all the details on all of those. I know Rhonda Haig has more information through the Resiliency Office, but I did just coincidentally hear yesterday that the canal by Lobster Lane in Key Largo, that one has started, and it will be a few months now. I actually, there was a call about whether or not the canal was open. So yes, of course, they have to close those canals while they're doing the restoration projects, but I know they have big things. I believe they just finished their first living shoreline project over by the Long Key transfer station. So that is a very cool project, where they put in more natural elements, and it helps mitigate, I think it helps mitigate storm damage, sea level rise, all of those things with a natural shoreline in a conservation area. So that's very cool.
Yeah, a lot of projects are going to be happening, and Rhonda has been very happily touting some of the accomplishments there as well with sustainability and resiliency, and including the upcoming artificial reef deployment that has been occurring as well. That started on July 8th. So anyway, very good. Well, you've got a couple of big topics there, but I know there are many more that are on your desk currently. Is there anything that we should be mentioning, though, at this particular time?
I did want to mention one new feature in our online building permit and code compliance system, because a lot of people call and ask about this. There are new reports available. So realtors especially will call and say, I want to see all the building permits on such and such a property. And normally you'll have to put in a public records request, wait for staff to get back to you, but we've been able to activate some reports on the website. So if people go on the building department website for the county to the online permitting system, you do have to create a login for your account, but then you'll see reports where you could run reports based on the property, based on the permits. I think you can pull permits for contractors and code compliance cases as well, and get a lot of that information. So I encourage people to take a look at that before submitting your public records request, because you may be able to get the information more quickly. We'll of course help if needed, but those are exciting in our world.
Very, very good. Well, we appreciate those updates, and indeed they are exciting overall. They will affect many of us. So Emily Schemper, she's the Director of Growth Management for Monroe County, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. We'll look forward to further updates coming up very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take care. It is Emily Schemper again. She is, as mentioned, Director of Growth Management, Monroe County, Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, hot one today, 85 currently. We are on our way to 90 degrees, but sunny skies are on the way. Again, no mention of rain for today. Tonight, low 84 and partly cloudy. Tomorrow, high of 90, mostly sunny. Thursday, 20% chance of rain with 90 for your high. Friday, 90 again, mostly sunny, no mention of rain. Heading into the weekend as well. So that's good news there. This is Keys Talk 96.9. Well, of course, unless you wanted rain, then maybe not. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the Talk of the Keys. We will return with more of Good Morning Keys in a moment.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles for Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Let's talk trash. I'm Taylor Conrath, and my family's been taking care of your family's trash for years. In fact, we've operated Marathon Garbage Service and kept the Middle Keys clean since my great-grandpa, John Conrath, founded the company in 1950. That's a lot of years talking trash and hauling trash. And these days, we take care of your family's recyclables in addition to commercial and residential waste removal. The Conrath family and our entire team of great employees takes pride in keeping our community clean, from the north end of the 7 Mile Bridge to Craig Key. Now it's my generation of Conraths working together with my grandfather and my dad to continue the tradition and commitment started in 1950 at Marathon Garbage Service. The Conrath family is always there for your family. If you need to talk trash, just call us at 305-743-5165. That's 305-743-5165. Or visit us at 4290 Overseas Highway in Marathon and online at marathongarbageservice.com.
Step back in time. Step back into Old Town. Step into Old Town Bakery with fresh baked treats like pastries, cookies, brownies, and fresh breads made every morning. Enjoy hot and cold delicious ground coffee always brewing and handcrafted breakfast and lunch sandwiches made to order on oven fresh breads. And now Old Town Bakery features spinach mushroom feta quiche and ham and cheese quiche, delectable for breakfast or lunch by the slice. Get a whole quiche pie by ordering in store with 24 hours advance notice and enjoy new new cream-filled croissants with chocolate or vanilla filling, and award-winning fresh baked pies, including their key lime pie, voted the best in the Keys. Pick up their unique Old Town Bakery t-shirts for a friend or yourself and give the gift of deliciousness with a gift card available for purchase in-store. And their catering menu is available to make that next event memorable. Old Town Bakery on the corner of Eaton and Grinnell. Stop in or order online. OldTownBakeryKeyWest.com.
Your home is your castle, your sanctuary. Rack Advanced Control brings together the electrical and smart technology that make your home comfortable, secure, and effortless to live in. Imagine music flowing seamlessly through every room, beautiful lighting that adjusts to your lifestyle, motorized shades, climate control, and energy management all working together automatically. From integrated audio and video systems to discrete security cameras and professional electrical services, Rack Advanced Control designs and installs technology that works in perfect harmony. Originally founded in California, Rack Advanced Control has over 20 years of experience serving the luxury residential market and was honored as a 2024 Lutron Excellence Award Integrator. Now with an office in Key West, Florida, Rack brings world-class smart home design and electrical expertise to the Florida Keys. Make your home smarter, safer, and more enjoyable to live in. Call 786-647-9647 or visit rackav.com. Rack Advanced Control. Intelligent luxury, expertly installed.
The voice of Monroe County, yours. This is Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Good morning, Keys. Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The Talk of the Keys, 8:24 a.m. on the 14th of July. We say good morning to, it is Nikki, the nurse practitioner from the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. And good morning to you, Nikki.
Good morning, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm going to preempt you. Cha-cha-cha.
Diarrhea. Cha-cha-cha.
If people don't understand what the heck we're talking about, they
No,
might.
they don't.
Where the cha-cha-cha comes in, I have no idea. That was your contribution. We were going to talk about.
I'm pretty sure it was on some inappropriate cartoon. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, well, okay. Fair warning.
I'm sure I'll find a meme. I'll find a meme about it and I'll send it to you.
Oh, good. Well, fair warning. We are going to talk about another kind of unpleasant side effect of this summer parasite. It is linked to fresh produce. We are hearing a little bit more about this. So you wanted to bring up this in Medical Matters so people are aware. By the way, Medical Matters is informing us each and every week. It is compliments of the Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West. Online, keywestsurgicalgroup.com. Dr. Rhoda Smith providing that exceptional care for many years. Cyclospora, the parasite, is something that we are just now kind of starting to learn about. It is making headlines this summer because cases are increasing across the country, including here in Florida. So we have how many cases so far?
So right now, according to the CDC, 843 laboratory confirmed cyclospora infections that have been acquired in the United States. And it's been reported across 31 states, Florida being one of them. They're reviewing more than 1,500 additional illness reports, meaning the total number of confirmed cases is expected to grow. Here in Florida, the Department of Health has reported 60 confirmed cases this year, with the most occurring during June and early July.
Don't
Don't throw away your salad. Let's talk about it. No, don't throw away your salad just yet.
No, so you still are pretty safe with your fruits and vegetables. So let's first talk about Cyclospora cayetanensis.
Cayetanensis is the name. I had to do don't feel so bad. You know, when you can Google the name and it tells you how to pronunciate the last part, I had to do that.
Phonetic, yes.
Yeah,
That's like a semi-quincentennial thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unlike bacteria such as Salmonella E. coli, that's the common things we usually hear when we hear about these infections. Cyclospora is a parasite that infects your small intestines and causes an illness known as cyclosporiasis. I can't even say it. See? Sporiasis. Cyclosporiasis. See? Sporiasis. See? I can't even say it either. Cyclospora.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't phonetically Google that one. One
No.
interesting fact that generally people generally don't spread cyclospora directly to one another. So that's kind of a good thing. We talk about the other bacterias that, you can spread from person to person if not treated. This one is not the case. So this one comes directly from contaminated food or contaminated drinking water. So that really finding the source of it, which kind of, I guess, maybe
Mm-hmm.
is,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse for them to try and find the culprit, but you cannot spread it from person to person. So
Okay.
there's that. So if somebody in the family has it, it's most likely you will not spread it to your partner or your friends.
All right. So why are we seeing more cases then if it's not spread from person to person?
Because it's mostly linked to fresh produce. So first Americans, now we eat more fresh fruits and veggies, especially in the summertime because, we have fruit salad, we have barbecues. When it's hot, you want something refreshing. So you go to grab the fruits, the veggies. A lot of times, people put out the raw fruits and vegetables that you dip in the nice little ranch dip. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why. And second, many of our fruits and vegetables are imported from different countries where growing and sanitation practices may differ. So today's laboratory testing also is better in detecting cyclospora, and that is than it was 20 years ago. So that is why we are able to diagnose it. And now, we give a name and a condition to what is causing our infectious diarrhea. Cha cha cha.
Oh, good, good. And but there's not a single food responsible, so it's kind of could be somewhat of
Right.
a
It could
spectrum
be
of
a
foods.
couple of different reasons, different foods that are causing the issue. So most foods that have been linked to cyclospora over the years are bagged salad mixes. So
Oh, oh,
those are
that's
the
the one
ones.
thing that I do to try to stay healthy is
Right.
back
So
salad.
no, and not
Okay.
that it's not bad, but a lot of times we grab them on the go, and if you take it to work, you don't rinse them. So you should rinse the bag salad. Look, you're looking at me.
Uh-oh. Well, it's already wet and stuff. I thought it was already rinsed.
Right, but the bacteria, traveling when it was packaged in the plant. So those bag salads are great, but and I don't necessarily rinse them either. And they will say on the package now triple rinsed. However, in times like these when there's an outbreak like this, it's really a good idea just to make sure you rinse everything. So
Okay.
bag mixed salads,
Yep.
romaine lettuce, they're usually in a bag, so make sure you cleanse those with some water. Cilantro, basil, parsley, all those fresh fruits and vegetables that are, on the shelves in the grocery store. Fresh raspberries, blackberries, snow peas, sugar snap peas, and mixed vegetables. Again, it doesn't mean that these foods are unsafe. It just means that you should wash and handle them properly before you eat them, especially if
Mm.
you're going to eat them raw, because cooking can kill the bacteria. But when we like to grab those, on the go raw vegetables, again, perfect for, barbecues when you dip them, you like, raw carrots or celery or
Well, yeah,
um
you don't cook a salad or lettuce either. So that's,
right. So you
yeah.
need to make sure you rinse them
Yeah, Key
with
West
water.
Surgical Group, yep, Incorporated and Med Spa is bringing you Medical Matters with Nikki, the nurse practitioner. Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. They're committed to providing a superior level of health care to residents and visitors of Key West and the Florida Keys. And Dr. Rhoda Smith has done just that for several decades now. So, the symptoms then, what are we looking for if you are exposed and afflicted with this nasty bacteria?
So about 1 week after exposure, and it can, although they say it may feel like it can come from anywhere, it could be from 2 to 14 days. So the
Mhm.
most common symptom is profuse, watery diarrhea. Cha cha cha.
Mhm. There it is.
Other symptoms include severe stomach cramps, bloating, gas, nausea, loss of appetite, fatigue, weight loss, and low-grade fever. One thing that makes cyclospora different from many stomach viruses is that the symptoms often improve, but then they can suddenly come back again. So, yay. Without treatment of the illness, it may last for weeks, sometimes even longer than a month.
Okay.
Yikes.
All right. Well, who is most at risk then? This is fun. Hmm.
so excited. I'm sorry. However, certain groups are more likely to become more seriously ill, and it's usually the groups we always talk about: young children, adults over the age of 65, anybody receiving chemotherapy, anyone who has received an organ transplant, individuals living with HIV, or anyone with a weakened immune system. So, sometimes we talk about those patients that are on those, they have autoimmune disease and they're on those immune suppressing drugs. This is one of the things that they can be more at risk for. Uh, for these patients that we're talking about, prolonged diarrhea can quickly lead to dehydration and hospitalization.
Okay, so it is a nasty parasite, and dehydration is a concern. We've talked about that a lot. What could that, and that is a particular concern for us in the Keys. Warning signs of dehydration, though. Again, let's talk about that.
So remember, dehydration warning signs are dry mouth and extreme thirst. And a lot of times when you start to feel that, that means you're really dehydrated. Dark urine. If your urine is not pale yellow, if it's not clear, if it's darker, like orangey or tea colored, that is a sign that you're severely dehydrated. If you have dizziness, fatigue, or you feel like your heart is racing, a rapid heartbeat, those are signs of dehydration. And older adults, when we talked about confusion, older adults tend to appear confused before they tell you about any other symptoms. So just be wary. If you have an older person and they've been having issues with diarrhea and they seem to be confused, they could be severely dehydrated. Again, we're in the summer, we're in Florida, the heat makes dehydration happen even faster. So if you're having persistent diarrhea during the summer months, making sure you're hydrated is just as important as treating the infection itself.
Okay, so how do we diagnose cyclospora?
So many people are surprised to learn, when doctors, a lot of times you go and then you'll say, I've been having diarrhea, they will order stool studies, but the general ones do not detect cyclospora. So you need to specifically request a test for cyclospora. Or there's a gastrointestinal PCR panel that includes the parasite, because this is a parasitic infection, not a bacteria infection.
Okay. And then if you have diarrhea lasting several days, especially after eating fresh produce or traveling, tell your healthcare provider about that. And then you can get treatment if it's diagnosed.
That is correct. So, Bactrim is the recommended treatment for this type of parasitic infection. Usually, most people feel better within a couple of days. This is in the sulfa family, so if you have a sulfur allergy or intolerance, they may consider two different types of medications. Ciprofloxacin is one of them. Nitazoxanide as an alternative. I never heard of that. I had to look it up. But these medications may not be as effective as Bactrim. However, if you have an allergy, then you need to, let your provider know so they can provide the correct treatment. And staying hydrated is the
Yes.
most important.
Well, and that provider is Key West Surgical Group Incorporated in Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home. Dr. Rhoda Smith can certainly answer your questions about issues such as this. And Nikki, the nurse practitioner, can also tell us how we can prevent cyclospora.
So I kind of touched base on it. They're just simple things you can do. Wash your hands before preparing food. Rinse your fresh fruits and vegetables thoroughly under running water. Keep produce separate from raw meat. Refrigerate all perishable foods promptly. Don't leave them out, especially if you're in a hotter environment. If you're camping, if your AC is broken, make sure you want to keep them refrigerated. Drink safe water when traveling internationally. I'm guessing that means drink bottled water. Don't necessarily drink from the tap. If you don't know where you are, how the quality of the water sauce. Said sauce. Sauce instead of source. While washing fruits and vegetables is recommended, it may not completely remove cyclospora, especially from delicate leafy green vegetables. That's one public health.
That's why.
That is why one reason public health officials work so hard to identify contaminated food sources. Sorry, somebody text me.
No, I heard that. Well, maybe they're interested.
It's a patient.
They already have questions about this, and they're asking, when should you see a healthcare provider? So when should that be?
So a lot of times people, when they think they have diarrhea, they just assume it's going to go away. And this what gets us into trouble. So anything that lasts more than 2 or 3 days, you want to seek a healthcare provider, because anything that's a quick, I have a 24 to 48 hour virus. Once you pass that 48-hour mark, if you're still having diarrhea, you need to go see a healthcare provider. Any type of blood in your stool is a red flag. Please, could be inflammation, again, bacteria, the parasite. You need to seek medical attention. If you have any severe abdominal pain associated with the diarrhea, with or without it, again, seek your medical provider. Fever, unable to keep fluids down, dizzy. If you're dizzy or think you're dehydrated or know you haven't been drinking enough, seek medical care. And of course, if you do, like we mentioned, have any of those problems that cause you to have a weakened immune system, you need to seek medical help. Again, persistent diarrhea is never something you should ignore.
Okay. Well, Nikki, the take-home message is what?
Is fresh fruits and vegetables they still remain the healthiest choices to make. I'm not telling you to give them up. Please don't. I eat salad all the time.
Yeah.
Just practice good food safety. Like we said, wash the produce. So even though it's in a bag and it's a grab and go and you think it's easy, just take it out of the bag, throw it in a bowl and rinse it. Make sure, just give it an extra wash. Instead, stay hydrated, know your symptoms again, and just don't ignore any type of diarrhea that lasts longer than 2 to 3 days.
And it is treatable. Early diagnosis can make the big difference. Any questions, concerns, do reach out to Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa and Dr. Rhoda Smith, KeyWestSurgicalGroup.com online. And aesthetic care still can have a free consultation to talk about how those 3 laser technologies can benefit you. ZERF as well is available now. There are all kinds of technologies available for you for a personalized care regimen for aesthetics.
That is correct. So ZERF is our new radio frequency device. It is needleless, so it is no needles, so it can actually go deeper. There's 2 different wavelengths. We have, I believe it's 6.78 and 2.0. See, I shouldn't have said that because I don't have the numbers. But anyway, it goes deeper into the dermis, into that muscle layer to stimulate collagen and elastin. To rebuild the foundation where you have skin laxity.
Well, all they need to do is call to find out more, 305-294-1041 for your free consultation to get all of the details on how these advanced aesthetic techniques under the diligent care and expertise of Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa can benefit you. So, Nikki, thank you so much for another intriguing session of Medical Matters here this morning.
You're welcome. Keeping you on your toes. It's good breakfast chat.
It is, but it could be something that people can be afflicted with. And again, I appreciate very much the very helpful information today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Have a great day. See
you too. Bye-bye.
Nikki, the nurse practitioner, Key West Surgical Group Incorporated and Med Spa. Exceptional care close to home, 3134 Northside Drive in Key West, KeyWestSurgicalGroup.com online. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. Back in a moment.
Good morning, dear. Breakfast almost ready?
In a minute. So did you happen to call someone about spalling repair for the house?
You know what? I knew I forgot something yesterday.
Honey, you know how important spalling repair is, especially here in the Keys. If that spalling damage gets any worse...
Don't worry. I'll call Design Center in Marathon.
When?
Today.
How about now?
Okay, dear. Now.
Design Center, the most efficient spalling contractor in the Keys, providing the fastest results. With over 40 years combined experience in spalling repair and a member of the International Concrete Repair Institute, Design Center can handle the largest jobs to small structures. They also handle quite a number of condominium and county projects. Mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair. Visit DesignCenterFL.com or call 305-735-4000 4042. Design Center, 6677 Overseas Highway Marathon. License number CGC 1523838. Remember, mention this ad or the program you're listening to and receive 10% off your spalling repair from Design Center.
This is Ollie North for 4-Star Rentals. 4-Star Rentals is the most complete rental store in the Keys. They can provide rental equipment for every do-it-yourself project from your house to your yard. Bobcats, chippers, chainsaws, and tile saws, you name it, they have it. They also deliver throughout the Keys. That's 4-Star Rentals. Model marker 4.5 on Stock Island. These guys are really good. That's 4-Star Rentals. Go see them soon.
Check us out. What Colonel Ollie North says is absolutely true. We're locally owned and operated. We offer a fleet of delivery trucks for fast all-in-one delivery. 4-Star Rentals is the oldest tool rental and party store in the Florida Keys. We make it easy to get that job done for that party or very special event. We're located at mile marker 4.5 in Key West, or just call us and we'll come to you. 4-Star Rentals, 294-7171. That's 294-7171. Remember, Colonel Ollie North never lies.
Historic Pepe's Cafe in Key West, founded in 1909, still does things the old way. Diachronic, if you will. How about fresh squeezed juices? Think how good that margarita or Greyhound will taste. Blue Point oysters shucked to order because oysters work better that way. Fresh breads and outstanding specials in an eatery that opened the same year Ole Evinrude invented the first outboard motor. And get a jump on someone's birthday and check out our retail offerings for some great gift ideas. Pepe's Cafe, Old Town Key West, of course.
Get ready to laugh out loud with the Greenhouse Giggles. Brought to you by the Greenhouse Dispensaries of Florida. Monday through Friday, it's a hand-picked lineup of timeless TV comedy that guarantees smiles, chuckles, and full-on giggles. Each episode features legendary performers like Red Skelton, Bob Hope, The Three Stooges, Betty White, George Burns, Milton Berle, Dick Van Dyke, and so many more. So catch the giggles, the Greenhouse Giggles, weekdays 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Sponsored by the Greenhouse, here on Keys Living TV.
Good Morning Keys on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5.
Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5. The talk of the Keys. Good morning to you. It is 8:47 now and 13 minutes till 9 o'clock. On a warm one, 85 degrees, sunny skies, 94-year high for today. A little bit of rain possibility for us on Thursday. Friday clears up again, and the weekend looking pretty rain-free at this point. So that's what we're facing. We're going to say good morning again. Karen is with Peyton's Promise Sanctuary, which is it's a sanctuary of hope and healing. And let's do a recap exactly what Peyton's Promise is all about. And good morning to you, Karen. How are you? Oh, hang on. There you are. There we go. I'm sorry. If you could start again, I had the wrong button pushed. Go right ahead.
Okay. Good morning. This
Hi
is
there.
Karen, and thank you so much for having me back.
Yes.
Peyton's Promise Sanctuary is basically we are a rescue, but we are a sanctum of hope and healing is right. We take senior dogs out of high volume shelters that are end of life, have special medical needs, require hospice care. They can live with us for the rest of their life, or if they can be medically rehabilitated, which a lot of them can be, I can put them up for adoption, for special needs adoptions.
Mm-hmm. So how many do you have in your care currently then?
Well, right now here I have 8. I have 2 in foster, and I'm sponsoring 2. So I would say technically 12.
Wow.
Technically 12.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And about 4 of them are qualified for adoption at this point.
And how long has Peyton's Promise been in operation?
Oh, okay. Well, I started getting everything together back in 2020, but the doors didn't open until 2022. Mm-hmm. So we are going on our 4th year. We're almost finishing our 4th year, actually.
Wow. And about how many volunteers do you have? Because I know you rely on volunteers heavily.
I do. Well, to be honest, it's, we're a small sanctuary. So I have 4 core volunteers here in the area, but I have more that help me remotely. Mm. So, and we also have snowbirds down here. So we do have some regulars that come back during the winter, and we're looking forward to that because it's time for events and I'm going to need a lot more help.
Yeah. So, but this led up to, well, you have over 30 years of experience in the healthcare industry, and you also practice as a natural healer, right?
That's right. So with my medical background, in addition to when I was working in hospitals with human medicine, I was also volunteering at our local shelter here in Marathon. And I was always and forever drawn to the older dogs, the ones that had medical conditions, the ones that needed just a little more help. So those are the dogs that I really, really love, the seniors. And that's what I decided to do when I retired from human nursing. So it's pretty handy to have my medical background to be able to help these guys because a lot of the diseases they have are very parallel and similar to human diseases. And I think the current statistic now is 50% of dogs over the age of 10 will develop cancer. And I do have quite a few with different types of cancer.
Is that due to diet or other environmental issues?
You know, a combination of all of the above. Unfortunately, we globally live in a toxic environment.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wasn't what it used to be decades and decades ago. Unfortunately, that is the case.
Yeah, because dogs and canines are really built to have a pretty basic and natural diet, right?
They do in the wild, and then we kind of messed it up with our, with our additives and preservatives and all the unnecessary chemicals.
Yeah. Well, in addition to that, too, you were implementing, and I assume you're continuing to implement calming music, healing oils, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And
how
does that work? How does that? What response do you see? From I would assume that it's calming.
Yes. So when I completed my course for Healing Touch for Animals about 13 or 14 years ago, I knew about calming music for animals, but we really started to utilize it. And I introduced it to the shelters here in Marathon and Key West. We donated CD players and brought CDs in with calming music. And you know, there really is a huge response. Everything is energy. The musical notes carry energy. That energy calms the nervous system, and the animals are able to relax in an otherwise high stress environment. It absolutely 100% is effective. It also helps the humans caring for them, and it creates a ripple effect. So if the humans are calm, that's going to help the animals be calm, and it's just a beautiful thing. So we continue to utilize that here. We utilize therapeutic grade essential oils. I diffuse them. The aromatherapy also has a very calming or therapeutic effect. So we have a lot of different therapies. We have some energy mats that the dogs can lay on. Laser therapy, just anything that's alternative in addition to Western medicine. I like to use a combination of both to get them to their optimal health, not only physically, but emotionally and mentally as well.
Yeah. Peyton's Promise Sanctuary.org is where you find out more about Peyton's Promise in Marathon. Speaking with Karen, the founder of Peyton's Promise. It is interesting. Modern medicine is maybe not always the best remedy for humans or for pets for that matter. Can you give us an example of calming music? Is it symphony? Is it what would be an example?
There is a program out there. It's been out there for a while, and it's actually a channel on some of the music stations, but it's called Through a Dog's Ear. So it's a lot of light classical music, and just the notes are organized to a certain way to calm the nervous system. So it could be piano. Sometimes I'll just put on a light classical station, and that seems to really work, or yoga music or meditation music, anything that's just soothing, that just makes you want to fall asleep. Think of it that way.
And do other pets and animals react similarly, whether it be cats or birds or?
Oh, yeah.
Do they?
Of course. Yeah.
Ah.
Yes. We all have the same bioelectric field. We're all, sort of wired the same electrically, and it affects the entire system for all animals.
So this is just a little bit off track, but it is in keeping with Peyton's promise, and helping animals in general. But if you have to leave your animal alone during the day at work, whatever, what is the best thing to do to keep that animal calm, to keep them company, whatever it might be?
Yeah, that's not off track at all. That is a subject that I help with all the time for adopters and integration. So the main need of any animal is to feel safe. They have to feel safe. So how do we create safety? Like we talked about, calming music is amazing, or something on TV that's calming. Make sure that they have a safe space to retreat to. So what does that look like? Often I recommend having a spare bedroom, or a kennel in the spare bedroom with an open door, some place that they feel really, really safe. So a lot of animals, when they hear thunder or fireworks or something that's just going to scare the living daylight out of them, they will often run and hide in a closet under furniture. So they're looking for safety. So if you can create that for them, and then if something loud happens during the day, they can go into their safe space and feel, okay, the nervous system can come down. I know I'm safe. I know my mom and dad are going to be home soon. That's the most that really helps them. That's the most they could ask for. And it's very simple, actually.
So when my wife puts the Hallmark Channel on for our dog, if we have to leave, that is not foolhardy then, I guess. I can't.
That's pretty benign.
Okay, good. I've left the news on before, and that's probably not a great thing necessarily.
Sure. Yeah, that doesn't carry a very high vibrational energy, but hopefully they just ignore it.
Yeah. Again, Karen is with us from Peyton'sPromiseSanctuary.org. Gosh, your mission, I just continue to be amazed by what you do, providing that sanctum of hope and healing for dogs that otherwise people, might not give a second chance or a third or fourth chance to. You take them in and give them the best days of their life, and sometimes the final days of their life. It is just so touching what you do. It truly is.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
that is our mission, to give them the rest of their life, make the rest of their life the best of their life.
Yeah.
A lot of the animals that come to me from the shelters are there because of neglect. And, so oftentimes they're not on the pain medication that they need, or a sound diet, or they haven't seen of that in a really, really long time. So it's incredible to see the resiliency day after day after day. These dogs that can barely walk, once they start getting what they need, how they come around, and they're just so grateful and so full of life. It is just a beautiful thing to give them a second chance.
And for some reason, I'm seeing on, what little time I do spend on the internet, I'm seeing these videos of these supposedly rescue organizations, but, showing stories of dogs that were found in abandoned structures and that kind of thing, and how they bring them around. Dogs really, like you said, can become very grateful and very trusting in time. But there are so many cases of neglect and outright abuse that these animals just do not deserve.
No, they do not. They do not. And they're very, very forgiving. It's so beautiful. How they trust again. They learn to trust again. And then they live in the moment. And they don't dwell on the past. Once they're here and they realize that they're safe and they're well cared for, they're right here in the present moment and just enjoying every single day. And it's amazing.
Well, our listeners can help by donating, by volunteering. Go to Peyton'sPromiseSanctuary.org. What a worthwhile cause, heartwarming cause. This really, really is, as well as can help by possibly adopting. And you do have some specific friends who would love to be a part of your family.
Yes. We do.
Mm-hmm. Is it, as I see on the website, we've got Taz, Rudy, Lily. Are they still looking for homes or no?
They are. Taz, I'm really, really hoping Taz finds his forever family. He has been in foster since January. He is such a special boy. He gets along with everybody, everything, every animal. It doesn't matter. He's just so easygoing. He does have some senior medical issues that are being managed with medication. He is overweight, so we're looking for, a ground level forever home where he doesn't have to do a ton of stairs. But he's just such a loving boy. Yeah, he is like on the top of my list to get into a forever home.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to plug him right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. He looks like such a sweetheart. Rudy as well. What a irresistible face.
Rudy lives here with us. Lily is also here with us. Tommy is also here with us. Rudy is our superstar emotional support dog to the other dogs. He makes sure that everybody is feeling comfortable and safe. It's amazing. He just took on this role. We noticed about 5 months ago. He's very gentle. He goes to the elementary school in the winter. He went last year. It was his first year, and he'll go again to help teach the 4th and 5th graders about compassion. And he's great with kids and with everybody, and he's just a superstar. So we put him to work.
Yeah. Okay. And Lily too.
Yes. Lily's gorgeous. She's 13. It's hard to believe. She just had a big giant cyst removed off of her shoulder, and she recovered very well from that surgery. That was actually 2 weeks ago. And she's back to her normal self. She's got a big old giant scar, and she's acting like nothing ever happened. So I'm super proud of her. She's doing great.
Well, there is such a need for the work that you do each and every day, and we want to commend you and thank you and support you any way we can. Peyton's Promise Sanctuary.org, right in Marathon. Karen, thank you for being here this morning. Is there anything else, though, that we should highlight at this time?
Yeah, actually, we have a drawing going on this entire month through the end of July.
Oh, yes.
It's for a brand new Highboy S2 electric scooter. So that is on the website. That is out there on social media with the links to be able to enter. And it's $10 for one entry or $25 for 3 entries. And that drawing the winner will be selected August 1st. And we'll let the person know it's local pickup only. And it's a really, really great way to support Peyton's Promise. And, if it's something you can't use, maybe you donate it to a child who can't afford it, or give it as a gift, or just donate, So that is the promotion we have going for this month. So if anybody's interested, please share.
Yeah, absolutely. The Highboy S2 electric scooter. It's a smart looking scooter at that. Raffle runs through the month of July. Winner drawn August 1st. Go to Peyton's Promise Sanctuary.org. Scroll down just slightly and you will see that beautiful new scooter surrounded by beautiful canines who are
That's right.
Patriotically decked out. That alone, the picture of all of them is worth the price of
That's right.
the raffle for sure. So, all right. Well, thank you for mentioning that as well, Karen. And we will be anxious to find out who wins that scooter. But
Perfect.
again, this is a cause that we really want to get behind and hope that people respond because you're doing God's work. It's amazing. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Karen, thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.
Take care now. It is Karen with Peyton's Promise Sanctuary.org on Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. We're getting set for Glenn Beck coming your way, and lots of things happening on the international stage that we are watching constantly. We always have breaking news as soon as it happens, whether it's local, state, national, or international happenings. Also, weather is, of course, updated around the clock, and your news updates come at least every half hour as well. Of course, we're in the midst of political season. We'll continue to keep you updated on all the developments for the political races. We're talking to all the candidates on a continuous basis, and your primary coming up in August on the 18th. So make sure that you are registered to vote as well. This is Keys Talk 96.9, 102.5, the talk of the Keys. And we thank you so much for listening.